Obviously, a tremendous defensive effort by my players tonight. The guys did a great job with the scouting report. When you play the kind of defense we played, you're gonna win every game. I don't know how realistic it is to hold people to 20% and 34 points, but just a tremendous job by our guys. And we have a chance to be a great defensive team as time goes on. And we continue to play smart because of our length and our veterans. You guys are really playing smart right now, making it hard on other teams and taking other teams' strengths away. I think we only had one bad foul when the game was a game in the first half. But you know, if you'd have told me Yancey was going to get 2 early fouls, get 2 points and 5 rebounds, I'd have told you we're in deep trouble tonight. But you know, we had other guys made some shots. Our passing, our execution was great in the first half. Our guards did a great job of understanding how Dayton plays defense and getting off the ball and passing early. And it was just a snowball effect. Dayton's a much better team than they showed tonight. And it just got, the snowball got rolling downhill, and we were making shots. And even when our defense broke down, they seemed to miss their open shots once they got a little bit rattled. But can't play much better from my standpoint for us. So we got to realize that it's one game, and continue to work on our strengths and our weaknesses and get better.
How important was the offensive spark you got from Rashad early in the game? Just seemed like it calmed guys down and everybody kind of got on the roll.
Well, he's worked really hard, and obviously I've challenged him in a lot of ways since last March. And he's worked really, really hard on a couple areas. Number one is trying to give us leadership and his total commitment and his dedication to basketball on our team. And if he continues to score just 10, 12 points a game, it changes everything for us because he's such a good defensive player. He's such a good defensive rebounder, and he's so smart that when he makes shots, we become really, really hard to defend. And it changes things quite a bit. And obviously, you know, Deion Dixon knocked in some big shots for us, too.
Cash had 5 assists, 1 turnover.
Yeah, and Darnell had 5 assists. You know, it's hard. I don't know if Darnell's played a better game as a Bearcat. Now, he probably think, you know, he may not understand what I mean by that, but his defense on Chris Wright and our execution of our switching, that really, really rattled him. And he kept some balls alive. His activity, he used his athleticism. And, you know, it takes time to get a guy to understand that's how you be effective. Making shots is just another part of the game. You know, his games come and go where you make shots, but you can always be aggressive and athletic. He really used his athleticism tonight. But, you know, when Cash gives us great leadership at the point, we're going to be really good. You know, it's just a maturity thing for him. You know, we got a lot of young guys that are, they got to become and come into their own. And that's why I'm trying to play guys more minutes in the earlier games to get them ready for today.
I think you had 9 guys play more than 15 minutes. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, obviously, late, you know, the game wasn't in doubt, and I wanted to get the other guys some experience. Because in the first 4 games, I was trying to get Cash and Deion and Yancey in particular, and Thomas, those 4 guys. Rashad's used to playing heavy minutes, the other 4 are not. So I was really trying to get them game ready for tonight. You know, they've never been in that situation where they've had to play tired and execute. So, you know, obviously we didn't have to do that tonight, but it's that day's coming. But you got to play your bench if you expect to develop those guys. So that's another factor.
Given the competition, or given that these guys know they're going to be coming in and out, you're wheeling 8, 9, 10 guys out every game. What is the competition like in practice to get those minutes, and how is that going to help this team be better?
That's really helped us since August when we started, because Justin and Kelvin were allowed to practice. And there's many days in our practice where the red team beats the black team. Many days. You don't see that in a lot of practices. And I really, usually, in the past, I've had to try to have competitiveness. I've had to play break the teams up. But in trying to get some cohesiveness with a unit, we practiced predominantly with a black team as the starters. And, you know, giving them Kelvin Gaines, maybe one of the non-scholarship guys as a sub. And they don't dominate practice. Usually at most practices, if you do that, it's hard because they just crush the other team. And our red team actually wins. You know, it's like, and it's good because, like I've told Sean Kilpatrick, you know, I can sub you in on the black team in practice, or you can develop your scoring on the red team, you know, and develop as a player on the red team. So that's really helped us. And you know, and guys buying into their roles mentally, we're in a good place right now. We've really worked hard on our mental state as a team, and maturity is something we've talked about a lot, and we got to continue to stay focused mentally because it's a grind, it's a marathon.
Coach, what do you think of Thomas stepping up when Yancey went out with those 2 early?
He was excellent. He played through fatigue. It's probably the best stretch that he's played. He got a little happy and took a shot like he was in the rec league one night at the top of the key. But it was good to see him that intense. And he held down the fort for us. Biggie played well late. We were concerned about playing Biggie against Dayton because getting back on defense was going to be hard for him. The way they sprint, you know, they make it such a track. We were concerned with playing him against them. But the way he played late, we probably could have. But Thomas did a great job. You know, you got to be able to hold down the fort if a guy like Yancey gets 2 early fouls. I was thinking when he got a second foul, we're up 8. I think if we can get to the half with the lead, I was going to be happy. I didn't think we were going to get to the half up 23.
What did you say at halftime then? What sparked
Just
that
the same
great
stuff,
start
maturity. You
like
know,
that?
the challenge with this team since, you know, what we went through last year, it was a lot of self-inflicted stuff due to immaturity and our mental state. And we talk a lot about teams that win, whether it's the Boston Celtics, who I talk about a lot, and the leadership that they have, and they understand how to go about their business. And you know, at halftime we just continue to talk about maturity, not look at the scoreboard. Continue to execute, and it's a game of execution on both ends and playing smart. You know, like I said, Dayton's a much better team than they showed today.
Excuse us, we got in here.
That's all right.
Did you, you know, last year you said after the NIT game, your guys maybe didn't appreciate those guys and know what. So what did you do to like?
I didn't have to do anything. The way they beat us in our own arena last year was embarrassing enough. I was just I was banking on my guys having enough pride that I didn't have to talk a whole lot about it. What we needed to do was watch the film and see what they did against us from an X and O standpoint with their transition. And we made some defensive changes strategically, and the guys did a great job with that. We kept them out of the paint. We got back on defense and kept them out of the paint, and we blocked out. They had 16 offensive rebounds, but that's misleading because they missed 48 shots.
Coming off that point, can you talk about your defensive approach to Chris Wright, obviously holding you just 1 field goal tonight?
Well, Chris Wright and the rest of their team was basically no paint. You know, keep the ball out of the paint. You know, they're a team that really thrives off the dribble drive. And not only do they score off the dribble drive, they rebound because now everybody's running to the rim following the dribble drive guy. Try to turn them into a jump shooting team. And, but it's something we really try to do against everybody, to be honest with you. But it's a lot harder to do than that, a lot easier said than done. So I give my players all the credit. They did an excellent job.
That's why you guys were switching everything?
Yeah. And we're really built to do that. That's something we've worked on since we started practice for Canada in August. And our guys, you know, you get a little bit older, our guys understand if we can effectively switch and not get hurt by the mismatch, we disallow teams to run their offense.
Whose scout was this tonight?
Oh, Coach Jackson did.
Was it Jack Scott last
He's
year?
been upset since last year.
That's what Darnell said.
Yeah. Because he did a great job last year, but you know our intensity wasn't where it needed to be. But I give Dayton all the credit.
Thomas left late in the game with cramps.
Someone said this is your first significant test or whatever. How much confidence do you take out of this game with your guys giving max effort for 40 minutes?
Well, you got to understand what you're capable of, you know, and it's a big game that I was concerned about because I was worried if we lost. We got some younger guys. See, even some of our juniors, we have guys in different roles where they're being called upon to score for the first time in their career and to be the main cogs on a team. That, you know, a lot of our starters are thrust into roles that they really haven't been in. Even Yancey had different guys with him. You know, he wasn't the leading scorer on the team. So it's important for us to build some confidence early, and for these guys to know that they can put the ball in the basket and they can have success. Because, you know, I think they believe that, but you know, if you come out and get beat, then you worry as a coach, you know, it's in the back of their mind, you know. They start looking around for guys that were here last year that aren't here.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.